First thing you need to do is placing a player spawner here. I'm adding 2 player spawners. You need to place as much spawners as there are players in your game. Now place a mutator zone and change the settings to zone width 5, zone depth 5, and zone height 5. Also set enabled on phase to none. The next step is placing a player counter. Set target player count to the max amount of players in your map -1. Then just set use zone to on. Now place an item granter and a random number generator. When 2 loadouts has the same amount of players, one gets randomly chosen by this. Place a pulse device next to the random number generator. Now go to the settings of the random number generator and set the roll time to instant, winning value to 0, value limit to the number of loadouts, and set pick each number once to yes and play audio to off. Now, the random number generator needs to have a zone. Make sure your zone direction is set to the right direction and your length to 2. This is big enough to put 4 triggers in. The length of the pulse trigger needs to be 0.5 and loop needs to be infinity. So when you stand on the pulse trigger, this gives an infinity loop to the number generator. Now you need to place a trigger inside a block of the random number generator. On trigger, send an event to the player counter and decrement target player count. The item granter has the following settings enabled on game start now. And grant item to all items. Play audio to no. Set count succeeds, send event to item granter and set it to enable. Now copy the player count to the granter and the trigger. Pass them for every loadout. Make sure every trigger is in one block of the number generator. Here, you see that the second trigger is linked to the second player counter. Now place a timer device. Set the duration to tense. Started game start on. Can interact to no. Display time seconds only. Time running text to something you like. And set timer label text style to large. On timer success, send event to pulse trigger. And start the sequence. Copy the timer device now and set the pulse trigger to stop sequence. Also set the duration to 4. And start a game start to off. Delete the running text. Also set show to hub to off. Now it should look like that if you start the game. After 10 seconds, all the player targets will drop to 0 in a random way. Now we gonna add a teleport system. When the player counters are complete, you will be teleported. First, add this function to every player counter. Mutate a zone device to enable. Now add a teleporter outside the mutator zone. Set teleport group to none, teleport target group to none. Teleporter rift visible to no, play visual effects off, play sound effect to no. Add teleport when receiving from mutator zone on player entering zone. If you did this correctly, it should look like this. When a player count is complete, you will be teleported. The item granters are also linked to their player counter, and when the player counter succeeds, he will be enabled. Now we gonna add some weapons to the item granters. This can be more than one item. When having multiple items, make sure that grant is set to all items. To grant the items, we need to grant them when you teleport. Enter the item granters and set them to grant item. Only one of them will be enabled when choosing your loadout. When I don't choose a loadout in time, I will get a random one. But when you stand in one, this will be the one that you will get. When using this loadout selector, it's better to set the info panel of the player counter off so they don't see the numbers. But this is your preference. If you have any questions, just let me know in the comments.